Well, some say a Maryland law meant to protect undocumented immigrants is leading to unintended consequences. The Dignity, Not Detention Act passed in 2021, effectively ending the long-term detainment of ICE inmates in state jails. It was supposed to lead to less arrests, but as Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor reports, ICE is simply detaining Maryland suspects elsewhere.
Yeah, that's right, Maxine. And elsewhere typically means hours away, in some cases even as far away as Florida, which is part of the reason why then Governor Larry Hogan, he vetoed this bill, which we know was still pushed through by the legislature. This despite even some immigration advocates warning that they thought the law was misguided and misinformed.
Following every arrest, ICE agents conduct what's called a cleanup, which involves cuffing the detainee more comfortably for a long drive ahead.
Right now, our closest detention center is 4.5 hours away in Moshannon, Pennsylvania, but they're almost full.
With the passing of Maryland's Dignity, Not Detention Act, since 2022, federal immigration enforcement barred from housing inmates in state facilities. The intention behind the bill, to release detainees and prevent deportations. But according to Maryland's ICE director, Matthew Elliston,
it didn't affect the number of people we arrest.
All that's changed is where ICE takes them.
This guy, he may have to go down to Atlanta. I may have to send him to Miami, Florida. And, that comes at a tremendous cost.
A cost to taxpayers and several Maryland detention centers whose jurisdictions used to receive millions in federal funding.
Instead of spending the money to transport someone halfway across the country, I could save a lot of money and pay it to a local jurisdiction so where they can hire more deputies and more correctional staff.
There's also no price tag on the emotional cost being paid by those the law was supposed to help.
It's created a lot of stress for families.
According to local attorney Jeremy Eldridge, who frequently represents immigration cases, due to Dignity Not Detention, his clients now finding themselves far away from family, friends, resources, and quality legal counsel. Additionally, he says a lack of judicial consistency now exists.
We have individuals that may have Maryland-based convictions that are being housed in Pennsylvania and then have their cases heard in Ohio, and it creates a very, very difficult law to navigate.
All consequences, Eldridge says, weren't considered, despite lawmakers being warned by ICE and immigration advocates.
They didn't even listen to the attorneys saying to them, please don't do this. It's a horrible life.
The idea that we were just going to pack up and say, oh, I guess ICE doesn't work in Maryland anymore, that's not an option.
Quite the opposite.
Mr. Portillo Henriquez has been here since about 2004.
This Salvadorian national convicted of raping a 14-year-old family member, marking the Baltimore field office's 105th sex offender arrested so far this fiscal year, more than any other agency nationwide.
All these criminals flocked to Maryland with the idea that they were, impervious to consequences. And my officers remind them on a daily basis that there are consequences to being a criminal here.
Now, I also reached out to this law's author today, Delegate Von Stewart, asking for his response to these unintended consequences. But as of news time tonight, he did not immediately reply back to my request for comment. Reporting live in the newsroom, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.